everybody, it's Trish from Art Journal Junkie. Now I know it's the end of December and we're all looking forward to the new year, but I started this little 16-page signature in about April this year. Well, it must have been April because I wrote here it's April, so I think it's supposed to be spring. And that's because in April in South Africa, we're actually starting to go into winter. And in the northern hemisphere, you were all getting geared up to have summer parties and go on holidays, and I was seriously envious. Anyway, these little beads that I put on the end here were, you'll see up here, I'll put a little, up there, I'll put a little iCard thingy to show you on how to make these really simple, easy paper beads. And actually, I was going to do a whole bunch more in here. Don't know why I didn't finish it. Anyway, front page. Oh, what I wanted to say is if you want to make this little 16-page journal, I will put the link down below here to Tisha Moore's tutorial on how to make it. So the front page is, I love collage, pretty little girl, and a sunflower, I think it's a sunflower, Lazy Daisy, Susan, I don't know what you call them. But anyway, put that flower on top and a little rhinestone gem with some silver Posca paint around it to make her ring. When you open up the little flap, you see that I say compromise is not my style. That's exactly it. I don't compromise. Okay, so let me tell you about the Red Hot Willy peppers. Well, I found this picture, somebody had posted it on Facebook, and I really couldn't believe that there was such a pepper to be found. Anyway, it sort of tickled my fancy, pardon me, and I decided to use it in this little journal because my husband grows a huge amount of chili peppers, and we are not chili pepper eaters. Well, we are to a degree, but not that much. So we're always giving away the chili peppers. At any rate, Peter's grown so many different varieties of chilies over the years, but I've never seen this variety, and I think I'd faint if I did see it. So I enjoyed doing this little page. The background is just acrylic paint. By the way, the paper that I used, if I remember correctly, was just cardstock, simple cardstock that I cut into the sizes. Now, in 2015, Maroon 5, who is one of my favorite bands, brought out one of their songs was called Sugar. And I found this little picture of macaroons, so I just a bit of a play on word with, play on words, I beg your pardon, with the words sugar and macaroon 5, not Maroon 5, and I hope they'll forgive me for that, but this is just meant as a bit of fun. Simple acrylic background, a splatter of white paint collaged on top, and yeah, and then I just used a normal Pitt pen to write on top. Oh, and that's just a piece of music from an envelope that I'd found that I stuck down. Must say I truly enjoy collage. Then on this little fold out, excuse me, I've got laryngitis, so my throat is a little bit sore, and I don't mean to keep clearing it, but forgive me for that. Background here was Dilution's paints. If I remember correctly, not paints, Dilution inks. I'd sprayed them onto my craft mat and didn't want to waste them, so I just sort of like soaked up this small flap from the craft mat. Again, a Pitt pen, and I've taken a couple of classes with Joanne Sharp. I'll put her link as well in the bottom in the description, where she encourages us to use our own handwriting to find our own fonts. So this is just my own handwriting, which using one of the techniques I have embellished. So it reads here, in my life I've experienced sadness and failures, but I always get up. That's so true. You know the Chinese proverb, fall down 7, get up 8. I can do this. Next page was just a little something I love to travel, and I thought I was going to put down all the things that I love doing. So I love to travel. I thoroughly enjoy my red wine. I don't know why I put the KFC down there because I don't really eat it that often, but boy, when I drive past their drive-through, the smell just about drives me crazy. Always smells so nice. Love Lindt chocolates, so chocolate and wine goes well together. And then I just love certain people in my life and others, and they're not all written down here, but they're all loved. On this page, I just, again, just used some acrylic ink as the background and doodled around. I think this picture came out of a National Geographic, and I think it is either a Balinese or a Thai or an Indonesian statue. At any rate, I had a whole bunch of little items that I stuck on top, and then doodled. He sort of reminded me of a Red Indian saying, "How I come in peace." I doodled about peace, and I wrote here, I journaled here, "My wish for all is to live in a peaceful environment. South Africa is in pain. Our people constantly are in fear. They are all hungry for food, for power, for love, for shelter. I truly wish for peace now." That reminds me of Sandra Bullock in Miss Congeniality. She always said, "And I really, really believe in world peace." I think we all do. When I did this little page here, it's just a little poem that was taught to me by a very, very special man who's now passed on. He brought me up after my parents passed away. And in South Africa, Mossie is just a little bird. Okay, I know that's a kingfisher, but give me some creative license here. So it was a great joke in the family that the little bird of Mossie sat upon my sill and asked me for a crust of bread. I brought the window crashing down and smashed his blurry head. Well, you know, as a kid, that was so funny. Nowadays, of course, I go, "Oh no, poor little bird." But anyway, so that's just, again, a piece cut out of a magazine that I collaged on. The background, just some acrylic paint. Now, on this side, I found, and please forgive me, I can't remember who it was, but there's a lady on Facebook and on YouTube who makes scrap monsters. And I tried it, and I loved it, and I thought, what am I going to do with this little scrap monster? So he found his way onto this little double page, or this little spread in my journal, and I went to town with the Posca pens, as you can see. Also some bottle cap, I think it was a bottle cap, probably from a glue. Oh no, I'll tell you what it was. It came off my, I'm almost certain, anyway, off my spritz bottle, but I played around with a whole bunch of paint and my pens. And then these are just old pieces of collage that I printed out, collage sheets that I printed out and then stuck down. I love this little page. Found the chameleon intriguing. I love chameleons. They're so pretty, and sadly in South Africa a lot of the traditional people eat them. I can't believe it, but it's quite a delicacy. And anyway, I love chameleons, and I put him on there. I found a fly, and into this whole background was about, if you're feeling blue, try painting yourself a different color. I live in color. I love color. In fact, even the book that I wrote, every chapter was entitled with a color. So you must go and have a look. I'll also put the link down below. And then here it says, "Will you walk into my parlor?" said the spider to the fly, who was actually a chameleon in disguise. Have you ever heard of haiku? I had never heard of haiku until a friend of mine who's an amazing artist, her name is Carol Park. Again, I'm going to put her link down at the bottom too. Carol said to us on Facebook one day, well, she challenged us to come up with a haiku, which is some type of a Japanese poem. And it consists of 5 and then 7 and then 5 syllables so it's 3 lines. So I came up with a spread. I couldn't work out a haiku myself, so I found this somewhere on the internet, and it says, "Poets of the night, twinkling stars recite beauty, past, present, future." So it's poets of the night, twinkling stars recite beauty, past, present, future. So it's 5, 7, and 5. And that's called haiku. You're not going to believe me. This was a picture that I took of my the frying pan that I was making eggs for my husband the one morning, because when I broke the eggs in, all I could see was this wonky face. So I took the photograph and I put it through an app called Artbot, and then I printed it out and stuck it into my little journal here. And as yet I've done absolutely nothing, because I think it says it all for itself. Gee, try and say that when you've had a glass or two of wine. Anyway, that just made me laugh so much. I had to put it in. And then finally, the back end of my little journal. It was my first signature journal in the Tisha style. It pushed my creative boundaries. I'm so inspired to do more of them. Different sizes, different colors, different media. Oh dear, here I go. And yeah, one last thing. This little bit of bling was from my son Dane. He sent me that and this little purple heart here, because he lives far away from us, and I've used it in my little signature journal. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please come on over and join me at Art Journal Junkie. I'm on Facebook, and it's a nice place where we just share our art and inspire each other, and I hope to see you back here soon. Have a wonderful new year. If I don't see you before then, I wish you everything you wish for yourself and more for 2017. Bye for now.